Hi guys, this is Yelena from Amazonia PPC. In today's video, I'm going to share all the details about auto campaigns on Amazon, about why they're so important to use, which options should you utilize, how to understand the targeting groups thoroughly so you can effectively apply them for your brand, and just a couple of strategic approaches that we also use in our everyday work for our clients that you might find valuable, and we wanted to share them with you. There will be a lot of useful information in this video, so stay tuned through the end and let us know if you have any questions. So, what are automated campaigns? Automatic campaigns on Amazon are campaign types that were first introduced by Amazon before every other campaign types that later came on. And basically, this campaign type is the one where you have the least control over what's serving your ad. So this was before this was even less developed than it is now. Now you have some kind of options to diversify the traffic that comes through. And in general, automatic campaigns have a couple of really good, there's a couple of really good reasons why should you use them and include them as a mandatory part of your strategy, of course, if you can afford them. So um, basically how they target automatic campaigns, they use information from your listing as targeting instead of keywords. Like for example, if you have a listing that's optimized with a lot of keywords in it that are relevant, and these keywords are high in volume, which means they have a lot of monthly searches, then the chances are that automatic campaign is going to be performing really well for you. Ads that show up like here in this example in this screen that I shared with you for this search phrase hiking backpack, you can notice that there are a lot of ads on this page. Like for example, this is a sponsored brand ad, so we're not talking about this ad type. But when it comes to sponsored products, your automated ad could be any one of these, like for example, these first two, or maybe if we scroll down, we'll probably find some more examples. Okay, so here you have another three different ads. Like for example, I could with great certainty guess that this is an automatic automatic campaign result because this is a sponsored result, and we have typed in hiking backpack, which is some kind of a specialized backpack for hiking, and this is just like a regular rucksack backpack, which is probably was a result of not so tight targeting, or maybe the specific brand had different alternative goals for their advertising. Maybe they're just trying to expand the reach of their campaign for the specific product, or they may be using substitute targeting in their automated campaign, which is something that we'll later deep dive into. So basically, your automated campaign ad will show up anywhere where regular manual sponsored products campaign will show your ad too. So just that we know from experience that some of these are automatic, like this one I just mentioned, this rucksack, because it's not that precise. Usually when you're targeting with manual, you have keywords as your main tool of diversifying the quality of traffic that comes through. And basically, when it comes to automatic campaign, they will use anything that's written in your listing in the front end or the back end. Front end is something that users can see, which is basically product title, product description, key product features, enhanced branded content, stuff like that that they can see that's on the page. Also the images and the tags on images. Everything you type in as information about your product is going to be utilized for purposes of automatic targeting. But also stuff in the backend, such as subject matter keywords, or for example, backend search terms would be very helpful in helping your automatic campaign serve the right ads. Or in other words, helping Amazon's platform about helping it with understanding what the product really is, so that this kind of campaign can automate the keyword research for you. So, why are automatic campaigns important to run? Basically, there are two main reasons. First one is for you to understand what the platform thinks that your product is. That's number one reason why I would use automatic campaign in almost every account that I manage, to understand if this product listing that we're running ads for is being optimized correctly. So that's number one thing. Secondary alternative reason why should you use automatic campaign is to automate your keyword research. This means that, for example, you have a hiking backpack, which is a phrase that's mentioned also in the listings product title, and this is used for targeting. And you will then obviously see this kind of search term in your search terms report after you run the automated campaign for a while. And once you identify this keyword that it's a relevant keyword that's making you sales, you should move that over to your manual campaign as a keyword target through keyword targeting, and add this as a negative in your automatic campaign. Why should you do this? Well, specifically because you want to tell the system, it's like you're telling the system, okay, this is the kind of phrase I've identified and harvested, and now I want you to look up for something else. That's basically what you're doing by adding this as a negative. Even though it's a relevant keyword that's converting well for you, if your goal of your automated campaign is automated keyword research, then this is exactly the path that you should follow. Then after a while, after you have gone through this search term report a couple of times, you should be able to identify more and more good keyword candidates to add to your manual campaign. So basically understanding what your product listing, what's Amazon's understanding around your product listing, and automating your keyword research are the two main reasons why automated campaigns are so important. We also see a lot of sellers leave them on even after we have harvested majority of it, simply because they continue to perform well. So this is one of the reasons why you should definitely test automatic campaigns. Now that we know how they work and what's the main principle of serving ads through automated campaign, I think we should dive deeper into 4 different targeting groups that Amazon recently introduced into automatic campaigns. You probably have heard of them. Let me just try and find what those are. Okay, here under automatic targeting, there's a new feature that says set bids by targeting group. First, to understand how we should use this new feature, we should first understand what targeting groups are and how they work. So basically, under this main principle that I've just recently explained, how automated campaigns work, there are also 4 different ways in which Amazon diversifies traffic that comes through to your listing. You should understand that unlike other channels, Amazon is very successful in terms of driving traffic that has high purchase intent, which means, for example, when you compare Amazon and Google, everyone comes to Amazon to shop. Basically, they come to search for products, compare them, and end up buying them. Like, they have this strong buying intent. When someone comes to Google, then you should, I guess you should suppose that they're here for various reasons. Like, for example, if someone needs information, or they want to watch a video, they want to do tons of other things. So their intents vary from one case to another. So this is the main difference between Amazon's traffic and Google's traffic. Like, for example, so any type of automatic campaign that you run, if you have an optimized listing, shouldn't really result in bad traffic in general, simply because we are working with high purchase intent folks, and these people are here open to sales and just running ads towards them is not going to be a waste of money in any case. But Amazon has introduced these targeting groups simply because they know a lot more than what we do know about this traffic, and this was the part that they are willing to share. I have a strong feeling that this will continue to develop with time. And basically, there are four different targeting groups, four different targeting options that automatic campaigns are utilizing to make sure that your listing is showing up in front of only the relevant people who are your audience for your specific product. Because they also it's also in Amazon's interest to serve relevant results to relevant audiences, because that way everyone wins. There's a sale. If there's a sale, everyone wins. So here's how they have diversified their traffic. There is a close match, there's a loose match, there is a substitute and complements type of targeting automatically on Amazon. What is a close match? I would divide these four into two different groups: close match and loose match in one group, and substitutes and complements in another group. Basically, close match and loose match would be something very close to keyword targeting based on the information from your listing. And substitutes and complements would be something similar to that, but very much combined with user behavior while on Amazon. I'm going to explain this into detail, so bear with me. Close match means basically if a keyword is, this is an example, hiking backpack for women, basically, your automatic ad is going to show up for women's hiking backpack, something that's very similar to the type of keyword that user has typed in. So with close match, you will get very close match between what's written in your listing, for example, in your product title, and what someone typed in as a search phrase. So close match would work something like if you were using manual campaigns, then close match would be phrase and exact type of matching type for keywords. And loose match would be something very similar as if you were using broad match keywords in manual campaigns. I hope you know what I mean. Like, for example, loose match would be someone types in, sorry, someone types in hiking backpack, and your listing has a hiking backpack for women, 40 liters of storage, something like that in your listing, then the chances are very great that your listing will show up for this kind of search. And also, for example, if your hiking backpack has a phrase like women's hiking backpack with special features, I don't know, and someone types in just a backpack as a phrase, backpack, chances are that your listing is still going to show up as long as you use this targeting group called loose match. So this is something to be much more careful with, especially if you're not very deep into special features that your product carries. Sorry. Or if you're unsure that exactly what your audience is and what types of searches they would type in, then be a little bit careful with this loose match. There's a bidding strategy that you can use to set bids by targeting group that was recently introduced by Amazon, as you can see right here. So you can kind of discourage traffic coming from irrelevant targeting groups by lowering the bids for them. Like, for example, if you really want to focus on close match, then you would set the higher bid for this one and then leave this 40 cents, something like that. So make sure you're careful with this one. When it comes to substitutes and complements, these two targeting strategies apply to a little bit different end goal of automated campaigns. Like, for example, if your automatic campaigns goal is to drive the maximum of sales with the lowest possible ACoS, then you obviously will be running automatic campaigns with just the close match and loose match. This is the only thing you will use, because it will drive information from your listing to match it with the keywords that users are typing in the search bar. So you will end up getting relevant results, and the higher the relevancy, the better the chance of acquiring a profitable sale, obviously. When it comes to substitute targeting, this means what I mean by different goals of automatic campaigns. Basically, substitute targeting is the type of targeting where the user is looking through a competitor's listing. Like, for example, here we have a competitor's product listing page, and someone is looking through it, and then below, somewhere here, we don't have an example on this page, but below here, after these other items, you should see a line here, horizontal line of search results that will be sponsored results, where basically the system would show your product that will be considered a substitute. Sorry. Amazon tracks user behavior while on the page, including heat maps, which means if Amazon notices that someone is looking through the listings images and they're, learning about the product, they read one part of the key product features, and then they were looking for more information, and then they scroll down, like for example, they're looking for more information about this product in the EBC site, and they are looking for more of it. It means that they haven't exactly found what they are looking for. So they're coming back to see other suggestions that Amazon might have. So they will click like, something like this. This is not a sponsored results. I'm just doing this for example purposes, and they would be looking for another listing. Substitute means that they're basically substitute means that customers are looking for same type of product, but maybe from a different supplier, different seller. So you should use this option only if you are like in a very competitive category and you don't really know how to stand out. Maybe you have a better price. Maybe you have additional features to your product. Like for example, if your competitor has 3 functionalities of one product, and this same product by you has 4 or 5 functionalities and additional gifts with the product that comes for free or free warranty 12 months, something like that, it will be like an additional unique selling proposition that you can offer and your competitors can't, then it would make all the sense in the world to use the substitute options, because you are targeting the substitutes and basically giving them a better offer for the same or lower money, which usually ends up in driving traffic away from your competitors, which is one of the competitive strategies that you can use. So substitute option should be used. It's a good option, but it should be used only if you know for sure that you have some kind of competitive advantage in front of your competitors, something that will help your listing stand out from the rest. Then you should make sure to use this. When it comes to the complements targeting, this type of targeting option will show your ads to a listing that's complementary to what your product has to offer. Like for example, if you have an audience that is wearing hiking shoes, and these people are looking for various types of shoes, and you are selling specialized socks for hiking, then it would maybe make sense to use the complements targeting option from automatic targeting. This is a good strategy also when you're launching a new product. You have, like for example, 9 and 10 products, and you want to launch your 11th that will be extremely complementary to something that your users are buying. Like if you have a very well-defined audience that you know is purchasing from you, then you should use the complements automatic targeting option. And like for example, if if you know that your brand is dedicated to helping people sleep, like for example, and someone is buying a sleep mask from you, then you can advertise earplugs as a complementary product to the sleeping mask. So that would be a good example where when you should use this. And complements type of strategy is usually a bit more expensive than all of the rest. So make sure that you only use it when you are patient enough for it to work and you have a little bit more bandwidth in terms of budget to spare to spend in order to acquire new customers. So that would make a lot of sense. What is this new option? Set bids by targeting group. Setting bids by targeting group means that you have a little bit more control over what kind of, bids you will set for each of the targeting groups according to what your product is. So think about each of these options now that you have all the information, and think about what kind of strategy for all these targeting groups actually would apply to your brand and improve it. So make sure you utilize this information to get the right decision done for your brand. And also, when it comes to these targeting groups, there's a good little hack that we wanted to share with you. Like, for example, I'm going to show you how one of search terms it looks like when it comes from an automated campaign. Like, for example, here we have search results, search terms report for an automated campaign. And this automated campaign called Auto is has one ad group called Advanced Candida. And as you can see, it's all little stars over here, nothing for targeting, basically, which means this is automated targeting. And you have various types of search terms that come from this targeting type. If you have only one ad group with all of the four automatic targeting options in there, then chances are that your results in the search terms report are going to look like all mashed up like here in this example. And you won't have enough clarity to make informed business decisions in terms of which search term is a good candidate to be removed or added to negatives, or which one should be added to your manual campaigns as a good performing keyword. So to gain more clarity, maybe you should split down, try testing. Testing, it's all about testing. It's all about learning through case studies what works specifically for your brand and what doesn't work. But there's this good idea where you could try splitting one automatic campaign into four different ad groups, out of which each one will target just one match type or one targeting group. So for example, you would have one ad group that targets only close match, one for loose match, one for substitutes, and one just for complements. So when you next time you open up your search terms report under the ad group names, you will have, like, for example, it's obvious, but let me show you. So basically you would know that these are close matches, and then we have loose matches. And then we have substitutes and complements. And then you would know for sure exactly from which ad groups exactly which search term came from. And then you will have enough clarity to understand which targeting group works best for your brand. You will maybe know this even before testing it out, but the test will only confirm. So before you go ahead and eliminate any of these targeting groups from your automatic targeting, we advise you to test all of them, but in these controlled conditions where you will have good quality results to see and compare. Like, for example, you will see that maybe close match and loose match are bringing you very skewed results. Like, for example, they're not giving you 100% accurate results. You're receiving a lot of ASINs in the customer search term column, which means probably that the system isn't driving enough information from your product listing. So maybe some improvements need to be made in the product listing. Or, for example, if you can see sharp difference between quality of search terms that comes from close match versus compliments, then you will know for sure that compliments is something to discontinue. And this will give you enough clarity to make an informed decision. So it's a little hack that we wanted to share with you. Additionally, if you want to combine all of these targeting groups into one ad group, then just try and make sure to gain control over bids according to each one of these, because quality of traffic will have some levels between them, which will vary between all of them. So that's about it when it comes to automatic targeting that we wanted to share with you today. We will also make another separate video about bidding strategies in general, because this was something that a lot of us, our viewers, were interested in seeing. If you like the content that you are receiving, then make sure to subscribe and ask questions if you have any questions about the content that we shared with you today. Thank you for watching, and see you next week in our next video. Bye bye.